This is Jonathan Agoff here for Seconds Out. I'm joined by the chief of the WBSS, Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, at the press conference you described this as the Champions League of boxing. That certainly lived up to it.
I mean, if we saw that in a football context, it would have been a 5-4. What a great night of boxing. I mean, that fight was simply what we try and deliver. You've got two athletes in their absolute prime, unifying world titles on a stage like this. Boxing doesn't get better than that. You know, it's a very, very, very exciting fight, and from start to finish, back and forth for me, and incredible.
Let's break it down for us. I mean, a lot of people said that Prograis took sort of the early rounds. Taylor came on. I mean, the scorecards were close. One had it a draw. How did you score it?
I had it 2 rounds, Taylor, but you know, I'm terrible at scoring fights at rings. You know, unless I'm not involved in the fight. And it was a tough fight to score. But I do think Taylor edged it, whether it was a round or 3 rounds or 2 rounds. I can't say. I think the fact that Prograis also sort of in the ring said, yeah, the better man won tonight. I think, you know, we know a lot, but the fighters, they know. When they're in that ring, they know what's landing and what's not landing, and you know, it's difficult for us to see cleanly all the punches. So no, I think the decision's fine. I think that one scorecard was a bit heavy, but once again, I don't know. I look at it tomorrow, and I think we got the right winner in terms of the scores, and I think you know, credit to Prograis as well. He's going to come back from this bigger and better. You know, he'll learn from it. That's for sure.
I mean, Josh Taylor in 15 fights has unified the super lightweight division. He's got the Muhammad Ali trophy. Jose Ramirez has got the other 2 belts. Is that the natural undisputed fight?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, well, I think at the moment, I think Josh is head and shoulders above Ramirez. I think he's head and shoulders above anyone at super lightweight, and he certainly showed that tonight.
Just talk to us about how the promotion's gone for this. You've really seen sort of the magnitude of the event just go up and up over the weeks. What's the promotion been? Yeah,
I mean, you know, we as a brand, as World Boxing Super Series, we're growing and growing. You can talk about brands, but we, you know, like I said, we try and put on the best boxing possible. And I think everyone who bought a ticket tonight, bought a pay-per-view tonight, will go home happy. They watch boxing at its very, very finest. I called it the caviar of boxing before, and I think we delivered that tonight. And by doing that repeatedly, you don't need to have much. You don't need brand managers. You don't need marketing campaigns. You know, people know, right, that's a WBSS fight. It's the Muhammad Ali trophy. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. And we showed it in season 1, and season 2 has been amazing, if not even better than season 1. And the second final in Japan in 10 days, Donaire and Inoue is going to be very, very, very interesting. Much more interesting than people think.
I mean, with these kind of finals, you do need a stellar undercard. You had that with Price and Derek Chisora. I mean, Derek Chisora is someone that you've promoted. How does he keep getting better?
I promoted both for many years. So I know them in and out. I do think it's time for Pricey to call it a day. I think that Derek looks like a man reborn. He's changed his camp, his setup, his whole approach to the sport. You know, he seems to be taken a lot more seriously, and you can see it physically when he took the robe off tonight. I saw him at the weigh-in yesterday, but just tonight when he'd been warmed up in the dressing room clearly, and he was pumped. He just looked like a different fighter than I've seen Derek over many, many years. And I've seen him overweight, I've seen him fit, I've seen him not fit. But he's the difference for me is he's always been a brawler, but he's punching with intent at the moment. He's punching with bad intentions, and he's making those punches count. And from the first round, I expect to be much more even. And you know, Price had a few good counts his first couple of rounds, but you know, Derek looked in control all the way through, and I didn't see the finish because it was a bad angle. I heard Price sort of ducked into an uppercut at the same time, so it was a double impact, and he, you know, the corner pulled him out.
Said Price should probably call it a day. For Derek, the story rolls on. I mean, there's been some names branded around Usyk, Jarrell Miller. Who do you think he should go in with?
Well, I'd pay money to watch the press conference against Jarrell Miller, but I think Usyk's an interesting fight. Derek against Usyk, that's a tasty one.
Just a couple more on the World Boxing Super Series next week, as you mentioned. Inoue versus Donaire. A lot of people have Inoue in their pound-for-pound list. I mean, this is a cracking fight.
I've got him at the top. I see people put Canelo at number one and Terence Crawford as well. Terence Crawford's a great fighter. Canelo's a great fighter. But have they dismantled other world champions the way he dismantles other world champions? They're not bum world champions. These are real world champions he's dismantling in a matter of seconds. So, for me, he's the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet at the moment. The interesting thing now is, everyone's talking about him, why he's going to go through the weights, up the weights, and that's all great. Plans always sound great. Well, this is going to be the first test of that, because Donaire is someone who is a big guy. He's bigger than anyone Inoue's faced so far, and guess what? He can really bang. So it's going to be interesting because Donaire's a super sharp boxing thinker, and I think it's going to be a lot more interesting than people think that Inoue's going to have another feast.
Just on Donaire, I mean, he obviously beat Ryan Burnett. Ryan Burnett got injured. He's since retired. Just a word on that.
I think Burnett has had a great career. World champion. Can't really say more than that. Lovely fella. And I wish him all the very best in his retirement. Go and enjoy life now, mate. He's a credit to the sport. He's an absolute gentleman, pleasure to work with. And how unlucky was he in that quarter final? It could so easily be him now fighting in Tokyo. So yeah, it's saddening, but at the same time, he walks away from the sport. Apart from his injuries, of course, but as a healthy man, boxing does have other. You can leave it in another way as well. I don't want to spell things out, but he's just a very, very likable guy, and what a career he's had, and very proud to have worked with him.
Finally, Bradis and Dorticus, the other final.
Yeah.
Just talk to me about that.
Well, that's you just have to look at go and look at the first season semi-finals, and then your mouth will water over what final we got.
A chance for Brady.
Oh, I mean, it's a cracking fight. Both punchers, both great boxers. At that level, we saw a great fight tonight, but that's going to be on a par with that at least as well.
Any plans for another series?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, we're rolling ahead with season 3. Working on the timelines, working on which weight classes and how many weights.
Kalle, I really appreciate your time for Seconds Out, and we'll catch up with you soon. Great night.
Thank you very much.